Hello everybody, thank you for joining. In this short video I'm gonna show you the tool that I made, which is I think cool and useful. However, an announcement: I am a co-owner of an adult store, so later in this video there's gonna be adult terms and URLs, so maybe if you're uncomfortable with that, just take note. So this is the tool screen. The tool is made in Google Sheets. We have 4 tabs. First tab is where we put the prompts and our questions. 2 periods, start and end date. If you're comparing data, 2 periods, you need to fill in both of the columns. If not, only one is going to be enough. SQL. So in this one, make automation. This step prints out the SQL query that goes to BigQuery, and this tab is used for troubleshooting. More on that in the article itself. Then we have more data tab. This tab is gonna be where the raw data is gonna be printed out. And this is just a tab where I link to a list of prompts that I came up with. Scroll slowly so you can take a look. In the article I linked to this document, so you can use all these queries. I also linked to another document where I hope other people are gonna put in their prompts and we can make this like collaborative effort. At the bottom there were like more comparative prompts. These are like prompts that don't compare data, just like pull out the data for a single period of time. So back to the tool. I put in 4 prompts, 4 questions for data sets I want to look at right now. So go to the first one. List all queries and their average position ranking. This URL, the home page, limit to 1000 rows of data. Use some position, divided by impressions plus 1 to calculate the average position. And next one compares 2 data, 2 periods of time, and then shows all the new queries or keywords that appear in second period that you started ranking for. Third one, list collection pages where impressions increased by more than 50% in period 2 compared to period 1. So this one, identify which URLs went from having an average ranking of 20 plus to ranking in the top 20. This one compares the URLs. This one does the same thing but for queries. So with this all loaded up, to make, run the automation. It's pretty cool to watch. So what actually happens, I'm gonna run one by one question and out the results here in this column. This step, it's gonna be plugged into the boom. Here we go. So first I wanna show you the SQL. So this is the SQL query that got the data out. I'll talk about that in a minute. So list all queries and their average positions ranking this URL homepage. So this is the result. I'm not gonna just read through it, but I'm gonna scroll slowly so you can see what this is about. So for this prompt, we also got like a raw data, which is just a list of things which GPT in this self-summarized. Second one, So all this thing appears that appear in period 2 but not in period 1. This is the some other notable observations. More data. Start data of the new keywords in period 2. There's also a question. Next step. So back to questions, prompts. Collection pages or impressions increased by more than 50% in period 2 compared to period 1. There we go. A total of 15 collection URLs experienced more than 50% increase between period 1 and period 2. Pretty cool. More data. This is the raw data. It's kind of hard to read, but it's here. Next question. URLs that move from 20 position, that was 20 plus, to top 20. Total of 40 plus URLs. Go. And below we have the same prompt, but looking for queries, not for URLs. And then more data. So we can see these are the URLs that moved. Position before, position now. And this is the queries, also the position in period 1, position in period 2. And these are again the SQL queries that got that data out from BigQuery, the table here. Again, I try to present it all. This article, which is linked in the description, so for more details, click the link, read it. If you have any questions or need help, just reach out. Glad to help with anything that I can. So to rewind, what this tool actually does step by step. So in a spreadsheet, you list the prompts and the dates for each one to retrieve the data. The next step, let me just switch back to make. So this happens here. The iterator makes sure that if you put in more than one question, it comes back and just repeats the process. So when you are going to be, actually let's go through just the process first, then I'm going to open each step. These inputs are then loaded into GPT, which generates the corresponding SQL code. So from the question or prompt to GPT creates the SQL prompt, goes here, the prompt. Prompt goes into the sheet for troubleshooting and also goes to BigQuery to get the data. When it gets the data, it goes here. The raw data is sent to two different GPT actions. One is summarizing the data, and the one is outputting the raw data. If you are mindful of the costs or the operations, the number of operations you use on make, you can cut one of these steps. So quickly on the fixing. So I wrote what kinds of problems happen when you try and ask some prompts that are not like understandable, or the GPT can get the reasoning behind them. Or say just like either it doesn't write the data out, or it just reports like a problem. So for example, if the problems happen, you would see like a red number here, and in that moment you would go here, take the SQL query, and go to BigQuery, the table you're using, run it, and in this case the SQL query was correct. But if the query wasn't correct, I would take it, go back to GPT, ask him to try and find a mistake. Most likely is that the GPT will fix it, and then I would give the GPT my prompt and ask him to fix or suggest the edit of that prompt, so I'm able to get the correct SQL query for whatever data I'm looking for. I went through extensive process of testing many prompts, and I did here like the 40 queries I tested and are ready to use. Some, as you can see, have more like instructions. Just because if you put just like prompts without the exact instructions, you'll get nothing out. So in the article I supply the prompt, the blueprint, so you can download it and click the import blueprint. However, and you will get like all this like setup. However, each individual step is not going to be set up, so you're gonna need to do that yourself. I'm just gonna open step by step, so you can later pause the video and see how I did it, just to make it easier. So first module is search rows, Google connection, your drive, the name of the sheet, the name of the tab. It says yes, column range, you can change that. Here you select the columns. I'm not going to explain what each thing does. I'm just going to go through it. This is the limit. So I can put 20 questions at the same time and it's going to run 20 questions in one single run. You can change it to however you want. Iterator. You need to select all these things. When you click on this, when you add flow control array, iterator, click on the empty field, you get the option to select these and add them here. GPT, connect OpenAI, get the API code to create chat completion using this system. You can choose whatever you think is better. Here are the prompts. I supply the prompts in the article too. An important thing is here to use the table, exact table you're going to be taking data from in BigQuery, which is here. Name is here. There you go. And then also to insert this, to map these fields. Again, when you click here, this opens up and you you need to like connect it yourself. Router. You don't need to set anything up here. Sheets. Again, drive, sheet name, tab name SQL, header is no, and this is just the column A where it prints out the SQL queries. BigQuery step, connected previous connection, name of your project ID. You can Google how to get project ID. It's the middle of your Google Cloud account, hard to miss. Query. So you're gonna click here, and from this step right here, take the result and map it here. Other settings are not really important. Router, then again, ChatGPT, chat completion, using this system. So if you have big sites or you're going to be requiring a lot of data to come out, like many rows of data, like many like queries and so on, we'll need to increase the max completion tokens, but then again, at the same time, you're going to be consider the cost. I don't think you can spend a lot of money in like one run, but you should monitor what's happening. Put the prompt here again supplied in the article. Map this from BigQuery. Map rows, click it here, shows up here. Find the rows here on the left side. Here. Map it here in the prompt I gave you. I definitely think you should test the prompts. In this first version, I did a couple different tests and I, decided on them, but I'm definitely gonna play with these prompts in the future. Sheet, pad, drive, more data. This is where raw data comes out here. Row number, 22 row number. Find it, map it. That's from the first step number. So map this, and then in B, question, and then from C, from this one, result. And then again, ChatGPT one more time. Same system, same completion tokens, which work for me right now, but I think as I pull more data out, I will increase these things to get some where I want out. Supply the prompt, map the question from the beginning, the result from BigQuery here, click it shows up here. And then the last step is for sheet. Again, this is all the same. Sheet name questions for the first tab, questions. Number from the first step, map it, and then in row F, I print out the result from this step. What else is important? So in this set, if you're gonna follow exact my setup and you're not familiar with Make, it's not hard. I think you can pick it up quickly. It's important that you set up the sheet in exact same way. Otherwise, just the mapping of steps is gonna be a little bit different. For example, this might be a 22 prompt instead of questions or whatever you decide to use for a column name. Well, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I'm really curious what you think about it. Do you think is it like useful? Would you like to use it? If you find any problems or have ideas to make it better, well, years. And I'd actually love to develop this tool. Also, so slow. If you're on LinkedIn, let's connect.